As third-year interior design students at Ryerson University, one of the buildings that we are most familiar with on campus is Kerr Hall. Besides the lack of proper wayfinding within the building, the most problematic spaces are the lecture rooms, such as this one in Kerr Hall East. Let's analyze an example of this space by answering a few key questions about the effectiveness of its design. Our space is located on the first floor of Kerr Hall East, room 127. It is located directly in front of a main entrance with one of the most open spaces in the hallway. The back of the room looks out onto Church Street. With this location, it is exposed to a large volume of noise, foot traffic, and student activity. This classroom is a lecture hall space that is designed to accommodate around 90 or so students, as the professor or speaker stands in the front of the room. It is a space for student learning, mainly through a lecture format and less of a collaborative environment. In the current arrangement of the room, the majority of the space is dedicated to seating. The layout of the chairs in a curved amphitheater-type layout is relatively effective, allowing students to be able to see the professor and screen from where they are sitting. Another positive aspect of the space is that there is sufficient lighting. So what is lacking in the current design? The two main issues we found with the space was due to the type of seating in the room and the lack of noise control. The room fails to maximize its potential to create a proper educational environment with its lack of sound reduction of outside noise, a lack of electrical outlets, and inadequate, inefficient seating space. The hard, uncomfortable seats are placed too close together. With a small distance between the desk and the person in front of you, there is inadequate legroom and a huge chance of kicking the person's jacket. It is also extremely difficult to squeeze by once the desk is being used. This difficult circulation makes it cumbersome to even get out of your seat to go to the washroom. The desks attached to the seating are far too small for one to comfortably use their laptop and place something else like a coffee. As a result, items like drinks are placed on the floor where there is a chance of accidentally knocking them over. Moreover, although there are hooks at the back of the room designated for coats and jackets, there is no room for bags and backpacks, and this further clutters the already cramped circulation. The second problem is the noise that occurs and disrupts and distracts students and staff. The single layer of glazing at the windows does little to block the constant noise coming from Church Street. So for a student sitting at the back, it can be very hard to hear someone speaking from the front of the room. As we know from studies done on personal space in a public setting, people tend to avoid the middle seats in 3-seat rows on subways. Applying this knowledge, we have decided to set up the seats in the room in clusters of 2. With the added circulation of space between each cluster, students will never have to trouble others around them as they arrive late or get up to go to the washroom. This new arrangement also means that students will always have a partner to converse with. This will help build new social relationships, as students can sometimes feel isolated in large lecture classes that have a lack of group activities. Noise is classified as any unwanted and adverse sound. Two of the dimensions of noise are predictability and perceived control. The noise of traffic, people on the sidewalk, and sometimes construction are definitely unpredictable. And although some of the windows are operable, this perceived control is useless, as users soon realize that due to the lack of modern insulated double-layer glazing, keeping the windows closed does nothing to block the disturbances. To combat this, we will install new windows and noise-insulating wall panels. There are also some other minor changes to the room, the first of which is the color scheme of the space. Currently, it is a very dull and uninspired sand color, so to evoke positive associations of nature, we will be changing the colors of the walls to a soothing green. To further this idea, our new furniture pieces will be made of a light birch wood. The new seating is also user-friendly for both left and right-handed people, as it flips down from the back of the chair. We noticed that in the room right now there are only 2 left-handed desks. The result of these suggested implementations would create a more comfortable space that would allow students to better concentrate, as it would be more efficient and functional. 3-hour lectures are long, and it would be highly beneficial to create an environment where students are able to learn more effectively. To conclude, we chose to analyze this room due to the amount of time that we, students, as well as staff, spend in lecture halls. We hoped that through our exploration, we were able to address some of the negative design aspects and how these could be changed to improve the human experience. With simple modifications, we can make this room in Kerr Hall East a more effective learning space.